All right, guys, we are back with another Ajay video. Unfortunately, you haven't seen the last one probably because it's been under review for monetization for 8 days on YouTube because YouTube is really not a good boss. They are not good. It's really disappointing. I'm assuming it has something to do with the holiday surge. But I've messaged them multiple times and be like, hey, what's up? And they don't give me a transparent answer like, hey, listen, you're a small creator. We don't care about you right now. So you're going to have to deal with it until the middle of January. While we deal with, because apparently there's more vlogging going on. Maybe the team is busy with that. I don't know. But it's frustrating because like this is the holiday season where I like to buy my family gifts and give strangers money. It's just what I did. And I'm losing money because I can't post videos because they're just like not. It's not even that they're not getting monetized. It's that like most of my videos just get instantly demonetized, like yellow, little whatever, and then I have to put them in for a review, and they usually take like a day, which is fine. I wait a day. I have no problem with that. Bro, I'm on. So I have a video that's been up for two videos that have been up for 2 days waiting to be reviewed. One video that's at 5, and then one video that's at 8. Even though YouTube says, "Hey, we're gonna do it at 7," or they said that it'll be up to 7 days, which is a new policy, my understanding, because I've never had this problem. It's just frustrating, dude. It's just really frustrating, man. It's frustrating because like I don't understand it. Because they're losing money too. What's the weird part? Because like obviously they make probably like just as much as I do per video. But they just don't care, man. And the customer service doesn't really care. And they're in their defense, they're probably like not being paid well, and they can't do anything. They're just there to deal with my abuse as I yell at them and say, "You don't care about me. This is my money. What the fuck? I don't feel secure on this platform anymore. It's upsetting me. I used to like this platform a lot. You give me TikTok vibes." What are you going to do? Anyway, enough. I just depressed myself. Anyway, this video is called What Happened to CallMeCarson? From Minecrafter to Outcast. InternetAjay. If you guys don't know, I covered a lot of the Carson situation. And it was pretty messed up, man. It was pretty messed up. Like this kid at 19... was talking to a 17-year-old, and he got canceled for grooming. This is the problem. That word's a buzzword now. It's just a buzzword. People don't know what it is. Grooming is a very deep, methodical process of manipulation, of preparing somebody for some kind of sexual exploitation. It is so deep and so methodical. It's not a 19 and a 17-year-old sex thing. Yeah, I get that it's illegal to do that in some areas, but also it's not illegal for them to sleep together, which it shouldn't be. It's a 2-year age gap. It doesn't matter. So like morally, not grooming. If you got some kind of charge, I wouldn't care. But like you get my point. It wouldn't be a grooming one. It'd be like, oh, showing pictures. But either way, like in a lot of states now, they're catching laws up where it's like, okay, if they're in a reasonable age range, whatever, not a big deal, because it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, you could show people, but then that's assuming that you're instantly guilty. Then the other argument is like, oh, well, he's power dynamic. Ah! Power dynamics exist everywhere. An existence of a power dynamic doesn't mean that it's being abused. Guess what? I make more money than my wife. Am I abusing my wife? Only in bed. No, of course not. Right? Parents have power over their children. Does that make it instantly abusive? No. Right? Popular people in school have a power. Like let's just say this. Let's say you're a popular girl at school. Oh, va-va-voom. And then you date a nerd that nobody cares about. There's a power dynamic there. There's a big social power dynamic there that could be honestly equated to what Carson was doing in some capacity. Doesn't make it abuse. Him being a big influencer and having money and being famous doesn't make it abusive. Yeah, people will want to do more stuff with him because he has higher social, I don't want to say credibility, but he's more attractive because he has a higher status. People like money and influence. That's just people just like those things. It doesn't make that abusive. If you're attracted to guys with more money, that doesn't mean that you're being abused. You might be saying, but then maybe she felt like she had to. Unless he leveraged his platform against this person, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If he said, hey, if you do this with me, I'll give you something with my platform, or I will take something away from you. I'll deplatform you, or I'll hurt you. Unless he does something like that, unless he leverages his platform, there's no abuse of power. And you guys have to grow up. Honestly, because it's annoying, because it's a lot of young kids that think that they know anything about the world. But you don't. And like, I'm not trying to be rude, right? Like, here's the problem is a lot of young people think that because something might be bad, that means that it's some kind of abuse. Like, she might grow up and be like, oh, that was uncomfortable. Doesn't mean that she was abused. It's called a life lesson, bro. All right? I took my hand and I put it on a stove once. Okay? It hurt like a motherfucker. And guess what? I'm never going to do it again. Anyway, Keemstar, of course, perpetuated that idea. I watched the entire... I looked at the entire Discord messages between Carson and that girl. It was super cringe, but there was no abuse there. And Keemstar showed, like, only bits and pieces of it. Or maybe it was just, or something like that. It was pretty fucked up. And Keemstar just perpetuated this idea that he was a groomer. Pathetic stuff, bro. Anyway, let's get this going.
CallMeCarson admits to it. Now, CallMeCarson, he was like a huge rising star, beloved by all.
And when you say he admits to something, yeah, like he admitted, in the Discord call, he's like, yeah, I was talking to a minor. She was 17 and he's 19. There's nothing wrong with that. Him thinking that it's bad doesn't make it something bad. I just want you guys to understand that, right? It doesn't make it like legally or morally horrible. I'm just letting you know.
And this is one of these rare cases on YouTube where the 180 is insane. It's just this power dynamic, bro. You can do this with your fans because you're not a normal person, right? Like it's just to do this. Also, when do you turn 18? If you find yourself asking a girl, when do you turn 18? You're up.
Yeah. Or if you just told her that you can't wait to jack off and think about her, and she's like, sorry, I'm at school.
Yeah. I can't wait to jack off. I read it as like furious.
Hello, Lee. I don't know, bro. It feels like it's one of those safe situations. It's what it is. Of course, we start with Ethan and doing something disappointing. He's a grown man. You're like 36 years old. You are supposed to be an adult voice, and a lot of adults do on the internet is just take what kids say and go, that's the thing. Because if you say something against that, you get canceled on Twitter, or you just get some heat on Twitter, and people like you. The children like you less. Bro, listen, yeah, I get it. It's weird. He was 19, they were 17. It's weird that they were in school, sure. Does it make it illegal? No. Does it make it morally wrong? No. This idea that, like, you're not a normal person, what does that mean? Does that mean that, like, no influencer can date anybody that's not an influencer? And then what's the mark? If I have 1 million followers, how many followers does a girl have to have for me to date that person? Like, what's the cutoff line? Do I have to leave my wife now because I'm starting to gain, like, online notoriety? Where do we go? Where do we start? Where do we go here? What's the rules? Like, Carson has 2 million followers or something like that. So does that mean he can only talk to other girls that have 2 million followers that are on the internet? Like, why does he have to have such a closed dating pool? Or does he have to go across the fucking, like, to like Japan where nobody knows who he is and start dating girls there? Like, what are the rules? Like, you're just making these like general, vague, dumb, fucking honestly unintelligent prescriptions of like, yeah, you know, you're a big celebrity, power dynamic, bad thing, you can't do. What is it? But what does it mean? Give me your social rule set. Are you telling me that, like, you have to, what's the follower count? How famous does somebody have to be? And define fame. Because I was saying before, what if there's a really popular person in high school and then a nerd isn't attracted to them? They fell in love with that person first. They have high social credits or whatever, social influence when it comes to that school. In that sphere, they're a big deal. So does that mean if that popular girl dates the unpopular guy, it's some kind of an abusive power dynamic? Like, where does this end? Power dynamic. I make more money than this person. That's the power dynamic. Am I abusing that? Are parents instantly abusing all their children? Is everything abuse? Everything's fucking abuse nowadays, and it's embarrassing. And it's embarrassing that a grown man like Ethan is perpetuating this idea that he did a bad thing. Because if you said that he didn't do a bad thing, you're a bad person. You're a meanie head. You don't understand grooming. 19-year-old groomed a 17-year-old. Dude, be an adult in the situation. Honestly, because Ethan's the same person who basically said that Keemstar dating a fucking 20-year-old at 39 was some kind of abuse. Now, it's weird. It's not abuse. They're a grown person. They're not going to have fucking some kind of a victim complex when they get older. It's an experience they had. It's crazy. Just like the way that the people talk, especially like Ethan talks in like with this moral high ground, but he just has no somehow absolutely no understanding of the real world. It's embarrassing.
Ladies,
it should be embarrassing for him. He should be embarrassed.
And gentlemen, the brown guy who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars here. Today, I'm going to be talking about CallMeCarson.
I'm happy that the eyebrows are back.
He is a YouTuber and Twitch streamer who rose to fame by playing Minecraft. In addition, he made many comedic videos with other creators which often racked up tens of millions of views. Wow. However, two girls came forward in early 2021 and revealed Carson sexted them when they were 17. As a result, Carson disappeared from the internet for nearly a year but recently returned. This is what happened to CallMeCarson. Before I get into the video, I just want to thank today's sponsor.
Guys, a 19-year-old talked to a 17-year-old. Oh, bro, give me a fucking break.
Ibble. Ibble is a place for creators and supporters to connect in a personal way. The app
sounds kinky, but I don't care.
Speaking of CallMeCarson, so please go to the situation, so make sure to watch the video and come by. Her name InternetAjay on Ibble and amazing and editing bowl. Click the link below to download Ibble and let's start chatting. Oh, and the event is...
Dude.
CallMeCarson's real name is Carson King, and he created his YouTube channel on May 12th.
That's his real name? That's interesting.
2012. Before he uploaded to his main channel, he posted countless Minecraft videos to his previous ones, GamerCraft 157 and Icebox Carson. He loved to tell silly jokes and showcase his comedic personality.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at all.
I will say one thing though, Carson is cringe as fuck. I don't care if you hate me for that. When I defended him, and then I looked at his content after when he came back. I'm like, this is cringe, bro. What? I should never defend you. I'm just kidding. It is cringe though.
That sweat from me playing so hard.
Oh my god. Oh. Carson, are you okay?
No.
In March 2019, Carson created...
Those are the funniest clips you could find, bro. Really phoning it in, Jay.
Created a Minecraft server called SMP Live. Players on the server were required to stream often and subject to a hit system where donations could prank or kill them. This later proved to be a great idea as the interactions were hilarious and the constant...
You okay? Sorry, my fucking wife's dying. I can't coughing up a lung.
Collaborations allowed all of the members to grow. Carson's SMP Live became so big he was credited with helping the resurgence of Minecraft. Beyond Minecraft, Carson also uploaded many YouTube videos where viewers were able to see his unique sense of humor. For example, he invaded Discord servers and reviewed cursed TikToks. He even made a...
Wow, that is so funny.
Discord spelling bee, which was quite a creative idea.
Joko, your word is rat.
R-A-C.
Correct. Alright, cool. Pyro, your word is Czechoslovakia. First strike, go see you. Quackity, your word is Yugoslavia.
Country of origin?
No. Charlie, your word is air.
Definition. AIR.
King made waves across the internet.
Am I just getting old? Am I just getting old, guys? Because that was super funny.
Internet when he was the main guest on an episode of The Rochler, now called Lover Host, on November 9, 2019. For those of you blessed enough to not know what it is, let me ruin everything for you. It's a Twitch dating show where multiple people compete for a popular content creator. The host, Austin, also used to call himself Raj and fake—
Wait a minute.
Multiple people compete for a popular— To not know what it is, let me ruin everything for you. It's a Twitch dating show where multiple people compete for a popular content creator.
Okay, so if you think that Carson has a power dynamic and he did a bad thing, then you need to cancel this show that is apparently pitting girls or boys, whoever, just lowly loser people up against big time celebrity alpha champs, because the power dynamic is here. It doesn't matter if they consent to talking to him. It's still an abusive power dynamic because it exists. So this has to be canceled by your own definition. If you're going to use the bullshit power dynamic definition, this needs to be canceled. Yeah, the show's fun. I've never seen it. Who fucking cares? The show's probably fine. I'm being sarcastic. Come on, pick up on that, dude. So I'm talking, but this is what I'm saying. Like, people, they'll be totally fine with this, but not anything else.
The host, Austin, also used to call himself Raj and fake an Indian accent every episode, but thankfully stopped. But that's a story for another day. A cute blonde girl named Katerino ended up winning Carson's episode. Although the show wasn't meant to be serious, the two took a liking to each other. On January 22nd, 2020, one of Carson's friends, Fitz,
so he power dynamicked her. Okay.
Appeared on Love or Host. Katerino ended up winning his show as well, but chose Host instead of Love, meaning she wasn't interested in him.
Katerino chose.
What's happening here?
Host! She even said she was loyal to Carson.
I'm loyal to Carson, okay?
Sadly though, the statement aged worse than some cum in a My Little Pony jar. It was later revealed Katerino... Sadly though, the statement aged worse than some cum in a My Little Pony jar.
I'm loyal to Carson, okay?
Sadly though, the statement aged worse than some cum in a My Little Pony jar. It was...
I'm loyal to Carson, okay?
Sadly though, the statement aged worse than some cum in a My Little Pony jar.
What the fuck, bro?
It was later revealed Katerino cheated on Carson with multiple other men, including Fitz. The news shattered King, who went on Twitter and stated he was taking a break.
Well, it's his fault because he abused her because he had power dynamic. So he bad boy. So, you know, she was just trying to escape her abusive situation with somebody with a power dynamic over her. Honestly, you know what I'm saying?
He wrote, I'm taking a break indefinitely. This has been a difficult decision, but after considering some recent personal events and my own mental health, I've decided I need to take a moment to step away. Going to focus on making myself a better person. Thank you for your support.
If this guy got cheated on, he disappeared from the internet, bro? Come on, bro. Toughen up, brother.
For those concerned about me, I recently started antidepressants and have been on a whirlwind.
Oh, well, never mind. That's pretty sad. But still toughen up, brother.
Of emotion and pain in my personal life. I recently started seeing a counselor a few weeks ago.
Damn.
Right now, I'm in no way mature enough to handle the responsibility of this job.
Probably nobody under 30. Or, well, I mean, it's difficult. People shouldn't be famous. I don't know.
The entire community felt bad for Carson and showered him with love and support after seeing his tweets.
Nice.
Katerino later made an apology video saying she was confused and suffered from depersonalization.
And I was very lost and confused.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck has just happened here?
She was confused and suffered from depersonalization.
And what the fuck is blacked.com? What is that some kind of porn website for, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? What is that? I'm gonna look it up on the side. Let's see what it is. What it is? What the fuck? What the fuck? It just says blacked.com at the bottom. It's a fucking fetish site. I'm literally watching black dudes give hugs to white girls. I gotta delete my fucking browser history. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. This would have been a fucking stream ender. 6 sites in one pass. What does that cost? $50? Wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. I gotta do the math on this. Where's my phone? It says 6-site package, 30-day access is billed as... Oh, it's billed as $50. That's only 27 cents per site per day. How much is it just for the site? $15? Okay, that's not so bad. All right, I gotta stop watching this. Okay.
Lost and confused. I'm now seeing a therapist, and although I didn't realize it at the time, I was dealing a lot with depersonalization.
Bro, I just don't know why is that there? What is this? Why is this here, Ajay? Why is this here, girl, that I don't remember the name of? What is this fucking video?
And I felt like I was 2 different people living 2 different lives. I felt like a passenger in my own body.
She also emphasized the two were never boyfriend and girlfriend. However, her video was generally poorly received.
Why do I keep looking at, bro? I'm flabbergasted. I don't understand why that was there. It's insane.
Notably, Fitz also apologized on Twitter.
Well, I gotta read the apology to Jay.
However, her video was generally poorly received.
Hey guys, as many of you will have heard, I've been involved in some personal drama recently. And although the situation is a lot more complicated than anyone expected, I want to apologize publicly, not just in private. I'm sorry, Carson. I hurt you, and I wasn't a good friend. I can only hope that someday you'll forgive me. I regret what I did, and I regret what we are. If you ever decide that I'm worthy of versing you in 8-ball, I'll be here. Until then, I'm sure the wonderful friends you have around you will have your back. Cam. Very nice.
Notably, Fitz also apologized on Twitter.
Yeah, she suffered depersonalization after looking at black.com. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the sympathy everyone had for Carson disappeared faster than a plate of butter chicken in the middle of a Mumbai slum. In fact, it would turn into disgust and disappointment. You see, on January 4, 2021, Keemstar posted a video where he interviewed 2 of Carson's friends and fellow members of the Lunch Club.
Was this real? The cringe one where he said, "Oh, and what is that?" He was talking about the NFT shit. This is why Keemstar's girlfriend broke up with him, right?
The Lunch Club was a group of 7 Minecrafters that reportedly dissolved due to the COVID pandemic. However, in the video, Hugbox told Keemstar the group actually broke up because Carson called him in March 2020 and revealed he sexted girls.
Well, I'm gonna stick to the facts here, which was that one day in March, he called me shortly before he told Travis. Everybody was up in LA and he told most of them face to face, but he called me. And I picked up the phone, and he was basically like, "I have to tell you something." And then he told me that he
look at this guy's face. Look at Keemstar's face. Like, this is such a serious thing.
Did underage girls, and I think that he said that they were fans.
Wow!
And
oh my god!
That was what I was told.
Wow!
Did he tell you how old they were?
At the time, no.
Hugbox.
Then there is your problem. I have a whole like fucking playlist on my YouTube. You can find it about Carson, and Keemstar's part of it. That was the problem, right? They claimed that he was talking to he said he was talking to minors. Now that could mean he's talking to 40-year-old men inside of a mine, or it could be a 17-year-old girl, or it could be a 2-year-old girl. We don't really know. The word minor is a very big range, like 1 to 17. An adult is 18 to you're dead, right? So that could be fucking 100,000 years old, right? So we don't have any specific information. So he doesn't, in this interview, he doesn't bring up the age of Carson, I believe. And then he says, "Did he tell you how old?" And they said, "Not at the time." And they stop. He doesn't say, "Okay, well, how old was she at the time?" This is you can only assume that it was an intentional intent. He intentionally didn't ask these questions to sensationalize the story. Because in that interview, we didn't find out, like, oh yeah, she was 17. Oh, how old was he? Oh, 19. Oh, okay. He allowed the narrative to play out. Unless he was just so uninformed on a topic that he didn't know her age or his age, which means that he is just a fucking moron. So either he's being dishonest by portraying this in the worst way possible, or he's dumb as fuck. I mean, listen, I guess the fucking, I mean, it's a coin toss at this point. But like, it's incredibly dishonest to not be like, okay, how old were they? You're not asserting fact. And then I remember, because I criticized him for that, and he fucking cried about it on the podcast. He's like, well, that's what they told me. I was just reporting what they said. That's not what you do. You report the information, the facts of the information. You smeared this kid, and you're a fucking, like, you're almost 40, and you smeared this child. This fucking, yeah, I get it. He's 19, but you're fucking 40, and you smeared this dude. And, like, no remorse. It's pathetic, bro. It's pathetic.
Fox also mentioned Carson said he would work on himself but never did.
Yeah, at the time, I think he told me that he planned to, like, take a step back and, like, get himself right with everything. And
I like how Keemstar makes you have to follow him first before he puts your picture up there. This way, you know, it looks like you like him.
Basically get better, and, like, that he had made mistakes or whatever, and then... he, as far as I'm aware, he didn't really take a step back, was my understanding of it. That's why part of why I remained so quiet about it for so long was that I was genuinely hoping that he was going to just
this is fucking mugshot. This is pathetic.
Away for a little bit and get himself right. But I don't know.
He didn't do that.
Interestingly,
he didn't do that. Look at how disgusted Keemstar. He's not. It's like so forced. It's so embarrassing, bro.
Rumors had already been floating around that King behaved inappropriately with underage fans, so this was the first time the issue was brought up publicly. On the same day the Keemstar video was posted, a girl named Sam claimed she was Carson when she was 17.
Yeah, she wasn't. She wasn't groomed by. It's just false. It's not. There was no methodical. They sexted. That was it. And they like the way they talked. Maybe it was like they were dating, but there's nothing inappropriate about it. I'm sorry. I want you to let you know. Like, yeah, I get it legally. You're not supposed to send pictures. I get it. Again, law is catching up. But if you think that it's legal, if it's legal for a 19 and 17-year-old to sleep together, I'd say that sending booby pics is below the intensity level of sleeping together. So morally, it's not a bad thing. This is ridiculous. The internet's fucking insane. If this was real life and someone said that to anybody in the real world, they'd just say, shut the fuck up. It's insane.
She wrote this on Twitter.
I can personally come out and say I've been groomed by Carson. Like, this is where credibility dies. If you go and you claim that you're groomed and then you're not groomed, like, you're just buzzwording. I have talked to many people and never came out about it now. At the time, I was 17 in high school.
Carson situation. I can personally come out and say that I've been
Carson.
Of course he's gonna I have talked to many people and never came out about this since now. At the time, I was still
either read them all or don't read them at all. Okay, Ajay? God damn it.
17 and in high school. I jokingly tweeted at Carson, be my boyfriend on my old account. He didn't reply to the tweet and went straight to my DMs. I don't have old SS, but I have Discord messages.
I jokingly tweeted to be my boyfriend, and then I engaged with him. Like, they were both cringing back and forth. It was just a joke, and I feel abused. No, shut up. It's so annoying, bro. Like, I read all the DMs raw, like unedited. I read them in one of my videos. Go look it up yourself. It was just a cringy conversation they were having. It's just ridiculous.
Kant. Sam then showed multiple Discord messages between her and King.
And to note, she edited them to make them look as bad as possible. Maybe Keemstar was the one who showed the full unedited. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I got it wrong from before. She edited it to make it look as bad as possible. But there still wasn't even that bad. But there was a full thing that I actually think Keemstar might have been the one to show the full thing. And still somehow came to the conclusion that Carson is a fucking groomer.
When do you turn 18? I'm scared I want to talk to you for the wrong reasons.
See, look, this is what I'm talking about. This is it. This is out of context. She interacted back with him.
Elaborate? What if I only want to talk to you for the sexual part of it? I don't want...
What if I'm a cringy little fuck boy?
I want that, but like, I'm worried about it. What if subconsciously I'm only talking to you because it turns me on or something? Is that...
Okay.
Really what you want? What other options are there? Also, what would you want to happen? IDK, all I know is every time I jack off now, I have a really hard time not thinking of
This is so fucking cringy.
you. I guess my brain got stimulated and now it wants more, you know? Sorry, wasn't school, but yeah, I get that. We should
I know that there's more messages, and that's what the part that's like annoying.
add back on Snap, what do you think? Sounds good to me, but like I said, I don't want it to be just sexual, you know? I wouldn't mind calling and watching shit together or play something, you feel? Yeah, I feel you. Just HMU next time you're horny. I'll leave it up to you if we only do sexual stuff.
So the worst interpretation of that is like she wants to do the sexual stuff with him, but she wants to also date him at the same time, and he might be a fuckboy that was just talking to her for sex. That's possible. It makes him a fuckboy. It makes him kind of an asshole, but it doesn't make him a fucking groomer. Honestly, it just doesn't. I don't know what to tell you. It's just fucking insane. And these are the ones that are edited up. These aren't the actual it's not actually the full one. That's the part that's fucking insane. It's not even the full messages. So
the next day on
what the fuck?
January 5th, 2021, Keemstar posted a tweet from another girl who claimed Carson sexted her when he was 20 and she was 17. It said,
yeah, even that one, I mean, it's like a little gross, 2017, but it's still not that bad.
May through June 2019 started when he...
Like, it's not grooming. Like, listen, I would consider it inappropriate. If it was my kid, I wouldn't let him do it. But honestly, 2017, it's really not that bad. And, like, I know people are going to fucking cry about it, but it's a 3-year age gap. They're 17. They're 20.
Shared my grad photo on Insta on May 22nd. This is all I have. I was 17 at the time of these exchanges and he was 20. There's more, but the IG account I had was deleted last year. I wish I said something sooner. The attached Snapchat messages read, hey, you...
Alright, hold on really quick. So I went back and I looked through my old videos so I can try to like scroll through everything. Yeah, it was Keemstar who had the video on there of the raw messages, okay? So we have it right here. Good night, Samantha. Sure, that was fun. Yes, have a good one. She sends a smiley face. Night, man, it's been so hard not to message you. Hope all is well. She goes, it's been hard for me not messaging you as well. I'm doing a lot better. I hope you're feeling good too. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's been really fucking hard not messaging you. Why is that? So you see how we how this is a very consensual conversation back and forth here. Let's see. You get my point. I appreciate that, but like, we can't, right? I don't know. Blah blah blah. I'm scared to talk to you for the wrong reasons. Elaborate, right? And this is what she showed. She cut it up intentionally to make to not show the full thing. You can just go look at this video if you want to watch it. It's around 26 minutes. It's called Keemstar Desperate to Cancel Call Me Carson. It's oh, we gotta like our own video. Bro, it's just like such a dishonest display, bro.
You there? I want to drop the sexual stuff entirely. It's been making me feel sick thinking about it. I feel wrong for having done it and I feel like I've led you on. I enjoy talking to you and all, but it's just too much and I feel really guilty, so I'm sorry. I've also realized I have a crush on my friend Sarah and I don't want to lead you on in any way. Tomorrow I'm starting my trip to California and I think I need to just move on. I'm very stressed and talking to you has been adding extra stress and I'm very scared and I feel bad about wanting to unadd you. It's just a lot right now and I'm not sure talking to you is a good decision.
Bro, in all honesty, I would have just unadded her and like went like this. I would have just not given a shit. Just moved on, bro. But he decided to fucking spill his heart out.
Shortly after the allegations surfaced, two of King's former friends came forward and gave statements on Twitter. One of them was Slimesicle, a former Lunch Club member. He wrote, recently 2 former Lunch Club members publicly alleged that Carson had been engaged in illegal activity with minors.
It might technically be illegal, but we question like the morality of the situation. I really just wouldn't consider it immoral, man. You know, you have Romeo and Juliet laws in states. It's usually 4 years. I'm not a big fan of like the 16-20. I think it's gross, but I wouldn't call that like cancelable. I would say that's something that needs to be educated on because like unfortunately it's within a reasonable age range. 17 and 20, man. I wouldn't. This idea that it was some kind of malicious conversation, like how it was like bad faith. He was trying to like groom this. It's insane. You're insane if you think that, man. I'm just saying.
To be clear, targeting a minor for and other inappropriate or unwanted sexual advances is illegal in particular.
And like the wording, targeting a minor. Targeting is very specific. He's talking to people. Like there's a difference between talking and targeting somebody. It's I doubt he was like, oh, she's 17. I really attract that. He's probably just a girl he thought was cute and she happened to be 17. We have this very backwards way of thinking where it's like, oh, okay, if there's somebody that's a little older is talking to somebody that's a little younger, it must have been a targeted thing. Probably not. Probably not at all. And it wasn't grooming.
Particularly disgusting if the person doing it is a YouTuber who has taken advantage of their fame to exploit young fans. My heart goes out.
And like that, take advantage of your fame to exploit young fans. Like it's just, what does that mean? Like you're saying he's like, oh, I'm going to use my fame to get young people. No, he's famous so people are attracted to him. And then they engage in what you would consider a consensual thing. That's pretty much it, man. Like it's not, he's taking advantage. It's just the fucking framing is insane from people.
Out to all those who have been victims. I am sorry you went through that and encourage you to tell someone about it.
They're not victims. I just want you to know, none of them are victims. They might have been a yucky situation that they looked back on and said, I didn't like this, but they're not victims. There's not going to be any mental health issue associated with this. There's no PTSD. There's not going to be any fucking trauma here. Not for talking to somebody, not for talking to Carson. You're not going to develop trauma from a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old just talking, or a 17-year-old and 20-year-old just talking. There's no trauma with that age gap in any capacity. It doesn't exist. Things can happen in a relationship that can be traumatic outside of age ranges. None of that has been shown or proven or even alleged. It's insane. Like the perspective of people on these situations is fucking insane.
Get the help you need. In an early 2020 phone call, Carson told all the Lunch Club members and our group manager that he exchanged nudes with an unnamed girl he believed to be 17. Because I suspected a crime had been committed, I immediately reported this information to federal law enforcement, cut all ties to Carson, and withdrew completely from Lunch Club.
You called law enforcement? What'd they do? Nothing? I mean, it's fucking insane.
Although the lunch club manager had asked about a final March drop or a goodbye video, I refused these because I no longer wanted to be associated with Carson or Lunch Club. For all those asking why I did not speak publicly about these issues at the time, this is not drama, this is an alleged federal felony involving a child. As soon as I knew about this, I took every step to protect the unnamed victim and report the information I had to authorities. A crime should be treated as a crime. If you or any loved one is ever in a similar situation, I strongly encourage you to take similar actions and report it to the relevant authorities. No person should ever have to be the victim of something like this.
Alright, so let me... Bro, it's just fucking crazy. Fucking insane to me, bro. It's just crazy, man.
Another former Lunch Club member, C-Scoop, wrote this. I said my piece about the Carson situation yesterday under the pretense that it would be used in Keem's video, but it wasn't. I didn't feel well enough mentally at the time to be interviewed. Thank you, Noah and Travis, for going on. Carson told me what he told Travis a few minutes before. I cut ties shortly after. My heart goes out to anyone affected by the actions of Carson. Shit is beyond.
It's not beyond, bro. If you think this situation is fucked up, then you are just not, and you just don't listen, talk to people, because shit gets fucked up. I've heard a lot of different stories from different people. There was an interaction that I had on TikTok where there was somebody who was literally groomed as a child, them and their sibling. I don't want to get too specific with it. And somebody accused them of being a groomer, and they were like, they were so upset by it because they were like, "What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me?" Like the stories that you hear are fucking insane. It was like the one guy's opinion video that I have. The stories here, like there's shit is fucked up. Like sit down and listen to actual survivors of shit. This is not a thing. This is not beyond fucked up. This isn't like a horrible situation. This is like a little yucky. It makes you feel kind of bad. That's really all it is. It's just fucking crazy though, bro. And you have grown-ass adults perpetuating the lie. Like this is one of those things. This is something that I've talked to my wife about. And we've talked about this before, where like we're older, so it was more acceptable for like the inappropriate, like for some age, for like 16 and 20s, for instance. That was more appropriate. I personally, morally, don't think that that's appropriate. I don't think a 16-year-old should date anybody above 18. 17, probably 19. 20, it's like fine. It makes me uncomfortable. If it was my kid, I would stop them. But we have to understand that there's a difference. There's like law and there's morality, right? I would stop my kid from these interactions. But of course, you know, because the law exists, you would make the reasonable assumption that if it didn't, people wouldn't violate the law, right? My wife and a lot of other women have talked to older men when they were younger. So when she was like 16, we talked to like 20, 22-year-olds, right? Not good, right? It's a bad thing. There's no trauma associated just with the talking, though. This is from her fucking experience and a lot of the experience of other women that I've like seen that they've talked to me. They've been like, yeah, this is very common. Yeah, when I was like 16, I talked to a 20-year-old. And then I got older and I realized that was inappropriate and I felt yucky. There's no instant trauma there. The thing is that older people that are older now, they went through this experience and they understand what it's like to talk to an older guy that can sometimes be manipulative or dishonest about what they want. Or maybe even oftentimes. And they get older and they go through that and they go, ew, I hated that experience and I never want to do it again. But it's not a traumatic experience. The problem is now young kids aren't going through that, which is a good thing, but they're instantly assuming that it's a trauma experience and that it's like this worst case scenario, bad thing, like horrible thing where older people are targeting you for the most of the time. It's like some older person that like looks and goes, oh, they're attractive. How old are they? Oh, okay, I can get away with it. Usually it's not some kind of like methodical targeting of like a minor. That can happen, but it's usually not that. There are really inappropriate age ranges, but I'm just saying that's where the disconnect comes from. It's the younger people aren't experiencing this, which they shouldn't, and then they're instantly assuming that this is like the worst thing in the world. They know it's bad, but something that's bad doesn't mean that it is a traumatic, abusive experience. It can just mean that it's a bad experience we should avoid. And this is like one of the big disconnects, and it's very hard to try to like communicate what I'm trying to say to you guys. But hopefully I did a good job of explaining that.
And well, the nail in the coffin was when Joko posted a video on Twitter showing Carson admitting to the allegations on Discord.
I'm not into kids, but I did trade nudes with people under the age of 18, which is very bad. I was 19. That's all.
And they were 17.
All you need right there. That's Carson's profile.
That's all you need right there, guys. This 19-year-old admitted to exchanging a picture with a 17-year-old. That's it. Kill him. Shoot him in the fucking face.
There you go. There's all the stuff for that. And then if you go down to the very bottom, Carson situation, this tweet, he says, "This shit is absolutely disgusting. I figure guys will be seeing this sooner or later, but yeah, absolutely gross messages confirming that this is true."
Okay. He was 19, they're 17. And apparently he had a lot of guilt about it for whatever reason. Long story short, when I was 19, I sexted a couple of viewers that were 17. Extremely regrettable and incredibly embarrassing. Felt guilty since. Apologized to them both and resolved it privately last year, and Keem got a hold of it. Okay. Everything was... So you know, just because he feels guilty about something doesn't necessarily mean he did a wrong thing. I need you guys to understand this. Like, we don't have rules and laws like that are based on the way that you feel about the ruler of law, right? You might break a law and be like, yeah, I don't care. That doesn't mean that the law wasn't broken or that it wasn't bad anymore. Or you might do something that you think is wrong that turns out to not be wrong. Doesn't mean that you did a bad thing, right? It's like SpongeBob. Remember when he stole the balloons on Free Balloon Day? It's pretty much what Carson did, okay? That's what it really boils down to. And he has this like guilt that really just... It's just undeserved guilt.
It was pretty much confirmed and there was no doubt about what happened. Many YouTubers then defended King as they felt the age gaps weren't critical, including, no pun intended, moist critical.
In every state in America, 19 and 17 isn't illegal. It's only illegal
except for
on Twitter.
Except like California, technically, but a judge would probably rule against it being a predatory. The laws in California are like insane. Like the judge has up to the way that it gets like prosecuted. It's very bizarre. But like, yeah, morally, nobody's gonna be like, yeah, 1917 is terrible. Nobody's gonna say that.
What is illegal is the nudes.
Yeah, it can be. And if he got charged with the nudes, that's fine. But like this whole idea that he didn't groom anybody and he didn't predatorize anybody.
Like I said, just child porn.
Right? Like it's insane. I actually equate this to like weed a little bit. Right? Here's what I want to... Oh, you're gonna kidding me. I'm fucking lagging here. All right, right? So you got segs. I know I write like weird cursive, right? You have segs here, and then you have pictures, right? This is sending illicit pictures, right? And then we're gonna do alcohol. I'm just gonna put ALC, and then we're gonna put weed here, okay? Wed. I'm gonna put Wednesday here. Okay, this is terrible. I can't write, right? It's legal for a 19, 17-year-old to sleep together in pretty much like every state. We know that, right? It's illegal to send pictures, although the law is catching up. If it's legal to sleep together, right? It's a little weird that something that's less intense, like exchanging pictures, would be illegal. So we would say morally, if this thing is okay, which it is, 19, 17-year-olds sleeping together is morally fine, we would make a reasonable assumption that pictures are morally fine. On the flip side, weed is like illegal still. I think it's federally illegal. I don't really know this. I think so, right? But weed's illegal, right? Alcohol's not. Alcohol is objectively worse than weed in every capacity, right? I'm just letting you know. It is a more intense, and yet this is illegal, or this is legal. So if it's morally okay to drink, you'd make a reasonable assumption that's morally okay to smoke weed, which I agree with as well. That's the simplest way that I can explain this situation to you. All right? SpongeBob. What fucking game is this?
But a relationship between a 19 and 17-year-old is not.
The waters became muddied.
Yeah, it's definitely not pedophilia.
Further, when Carson's best friend Schlatt mentioned Carson said he was going to stop sending inappropriate messages to minors and get help, but never did.
But a few weeks ago, I started having...
I hated this video. It's so embarrassing. Get help for what? For what? What did he need to get help for? It's insane. It's insane to me, bro.
Conversations with...
I hated the tone in this video. It was pathetic, dude.
Carson's closest friends, including his former roommates. And in my discussions with them, I heard some things that suggested that Carson wasn't improving in the areas that he should have been.
What areas? Bro.
And he was showing signs of continuing some of his inappropriate behavior. And apparently this was happening while I was spending all this time trying to help him. And while he was saying that he was working on himself and that he was changing and that he hates the person he used to be. These conversations were really the ones that got me second guessing how genuine Carson had been to me and to others throughout this whole thing.
Essentially, King
I felt sad because they I felt upset because they lied to me. Because that's what it really boils down to.
took advantage of their support, which was a betrayal of their trust. On top of that, Carson unfairly used his position of power as a creator to get what he wanted from his underage fans.
Shut the fuck up. If you really think that, Ajay, you're just another part of the problem. A grown man that doesn't have an honest conversation about these interactions, and you have like no business of even bothering inserting yourself in this. It's just fucking insane, dude. It's just crazy to me how many grown fucking people on the internet will just bow down to fucking children on Twitter because they say a thing is bad. It's fucking insane to me. It's insane because you know that like if you say Carson, it was okay what Carson did. Right? If you're like, yeah, that wasn't morally wrong, you're like, oh, then like the fucking people will have a meltdown like, oh, well, I can't believe you're normalizing grooming. You're a fucking idiot. If you come in here and say that Carson will groom that person, you're just a dumb person and you're not informed on what grooming is. You are diminishing the word and you're diminishing the interaction that actually happens to people who are true victims of grooming. You shouldn't be talking about grooming.
As a result of all the drama, Carson disappeared from the internet entirely. He stopped uploading to YouTube and streaming on Twitch. In addition, he barely wrote tweets and deleted them when he did. In April 2021, when Ludwig was doing a subathon, he played a Jeopardy video Carson was in. Ludwig then stated Carson texted him to let him know what was playing.
Saved. You want to know who told me that the Carson video is playing? Carson. Send me a text. I was like, oh shit, I'll turn that off. Good call, Carson.
This was one of the first times Carson came out of hiding. In August 2021, King gained widespread attention when he randomly appeared on Miskif's stream.
I didn't even know you were coming here. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna play jump ticket.
Maya literally told you.
Yeah, 5 in the morning. She's like, yo, by the way, he's coming over. I'm like, that's fine with me.
This does kind of fit me, actually.
I think it looked good.
This is a very cringe video.
Alright, I gotta go. I look good. It's Miskiff.tv shirt.
He's right, chat.
Okay, I'm gonna leave before people die. But yeah. Thanks for the shirt. Or whatever.
Thank you. For viewers like you. Chat, I don't have fans over often, okay? It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Also, people are gonna put this on YouTube or something, so and I'm sure you will too. I'll be back soon. Like, real soon.
Cool, brother.
Later.
The Kiff, as the kids call him, later mentioned, sorry, no one calls him that. I just made that up and I don't know why. I guess I just want attention. Wait a minute, this isn't my therapy appointment. Anyways, Miskiff later mentioned Carson was only at his house for 30 minutes and was there to do charity work with Maya.
Carson? Dude, okay. Carson was here for 30 minutes. He's gone. He came over for one thing and one thing only. Not me, okay? Don't think I invited him here and was like, dude, let's
came over to groom Maya, apparently.
Do this. He came over for one reason. It's to, he wants to do a thing of charity with Maya.
Miskiff then said he regretted having him on stream even though he didn't think he was a chomo.
CallMeCarson lives there? Dude, I'll say it. That was one of my biggest regrets. It was one of my biggest regrets. There, I'll say, I don't regret anything. It was one of my biggest regrets. There, I said it.
Why?
I said it. It was my biggest regrets. Wanna know why? Because
yes.
I don't think he's a slightest, right? And anyone who thinks that should just shut the fuck up. Why I regret it is because afterwards I learned things that I didn't know beforehand. And because I don't follow YouTube people. I don't give a fuck.
What did you learn?
I don't give a shit about it at all, right? And some friends of mine who know the situation, actually know the situation, talk to me about it and were like, dude, this is the real reason why we're like upset or whatever.
Oh, well, fill me in, because I still don't actually understand the justifiable reason people are upset. It still doesn't exist to me. Why don't you fill me in? It sounds like, here's what actually sounds like it happened. He had Carson on because it wasn't a big deal, and then people melted down about it, so now he feels like he has to apologize. Wow, that's crazy, bro. Like, this is, bro, I find this embarrassing when people do this. Like, it's pathetic to me when people just don't, like, stand their ground on, like, their fucking moral issues. I find it's embarrassing. It's pathetic. Like, what kind of a person are you? Like, you'll fold instantly? Because what? Because you got a little heat? Bro, it's fucking embarrassing.
And I didn't know that. I felt really bad afterwards.
Wow. What happened? Fill me in, bro. I would love to know.
I feel like a piece of shit now.
Because I'm sure that they just use buzzwords. Power dynamic, abuse, grooming. Probably the words that they just... He's like, wow, oh my God, those are words. I gotta say sorry.
On August 25th, 2021, Carson returned to YouTube and uploaded a video called Moving Forward. In it, he said he wasn't seeking forgiveness or explaining his truth.
Hey guys, it's been a while.
Yeah, it was a short
This isn't going to be your average YouTuber apology video, and I'm not going to make it long and drawn out. I've learned a lot this past year.
I'm not seeking forgiveness, nor
probably didn't learn the correct thing, but okay.
Nor am I looking to make excuses. I'm sure some of you are expecting some long, drawn-out video explaining my truth of the situation.
Yeah, I was expecting like a 45-minute Trisha Paytas, you know.
But I have no intentions of doing that.
In addition, he mentioned he would return to streaming in September and was going to donate all his revenue to charity for the rest of 2021.
For the next year, I plan to donate 100% of my profits to charity, with a different charity being the focus each month. Now, before you start thinking of this as an excuse to sweep things under the rug, that's not what this is. I'm doing this because I want to turn a negative situation with a lot of eyes on it into something positive that can help a lot of people. I'm going to officially come back to streaming on September 1st at twitch.tv/CallMeCarson live, and I'll go into a little bit.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was a blackout day for Twitch. I think I might be wrong. I think September 1st was the day we were supposed to. I didn't stream that day. I don't think we weren't supposed to stream to like protest. Twitch not acknowledging the abuse again. It was mostly smaller streamers that would get like bullied, but apparently like marginalized groups were getting targeted, and that's the day he came back. I was like, what the fuck? I laughed. I doubt he knew that. It was just funny.
A bit more detail.
Cancel him for being racist.
Charity will work.
While some hailed this move as a positive change and applauded him, others felt he was using it as a distraction or bribe to escape the pressure. Notably, Carson never apologized or addressed the situation directly in the video. Viewers were split about the decision, with some saying the title was moving forward, so that's what he was doing. Others, however, felt he was trying to hide what he did and avoid any repercussions. Regardless though, Carson returned to streaming, but his reception was very underwhelming to say the least. He went from a peak of around 40,000 live viewers per stream in April 2020 to averaging between 500 and 1,000 in November and December. On a positive note though, he seems to be enjoying himself and having fun. It's evident from the drop in viewers that the situation impacted him to at least some degree. You see, the Minecraft community is no stranger to pedo allegations.
Sure, yeah. What a hot take. Yeah, clearly some things happened.
And most fans are young kids. I imagine that finding out that Carson acted inappropriately with underage impressionable girls was disappointing.
Oh, stop with the fucking moral loading. Underage impressionable girls. A lot of people are impressionable, bro. I don't understand, dude. 17 and 19. He is impressionable. Everybody's impressionable. You guys have been you guys literally bullied this kid into thinking he's a fucking rapist. I mean, like, I don't understand. You can tell that she's impressionable. He is too. They're both dumb fuck kids. 17, 19. Honestly. I know people are going, he's technically an adult. I understand that. I'm 31. I was 19 once, and you know what? I was 20 once, and I was 17 once, and 21, and 18. I was also 1 year old at one time. Okay? Like, I know how dumb people are when they're young. Like, 17, 19, dumb as fuck. Honestly, you're dumb as shit till you're like 25. I didn't start feeling like I was actually a fucking adult until I was like 26. Like, I actually became less dumb. It took me a while to mature. It takes most people a while to mature. If you're fucking 19 years old, he's not this grown-ass fucking man handling a shit. Especially nowadays. What is he, a fucking YouTuber? Oh, wow. He's not dealing with the struggles of life. These people, it's just, oh, this fucking moral loading that she's this victim. It bothers me because it's a 19 and a fucking 17-year-old, bro. It's crazy. I feel like I'm explaining how to light a match. Like, it's just like how this situation got so complicated for something so fucking simple. Like, holy shit.
Although the girls were close in age to Carson, it's still a sensitive issue, and I can see why some fans moved on from him. I mean, Minecraft has a multitude of top creators like George Not Found, Connor Eats Pants, and Dan TDM to name a few. With so many options, it makes sense why viewers would just pick someone else who doesn't exploit their fans. In addition, Carson's absence from content
exploits your fucking fans, bro. Oh my god, dude. Exploits your fans.
Creation for months on end also hurt him dramatically. Minecrafters in particular tend to upload frequently, so not doing so only made things worse.
One day someone's gonna make a rise and fall about me. Sure, and I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna laugh.
Remember, on the internet, month-long breaks are like years. Now the question remains, will Carson ever be able to—
Hold on a second.
Allegations, and most impacted him to at least some degree. You see, the Minecraft community is no stranger to pedo allegations and—
Bro, I didn't even, like, I caught it, but I didn't internalize it. Minecraft is not— the Minecraft community is no stranger to pedo allegations. Yeah, you're right. I've covered some of them. You're suggesting that he's a fucking pedophile. I don't like this, like, I don't like take a fucking stance, bro. Well, you are pretty much taking a stance that you think Carson was in the wrong, or that you're just afraid, you're petrified of being canceled. Bro, fucking cancel me. I would rather go back to work a real fucking job than fold on my values and tell children that they're fucking right about some dumb shit that they're wrong about. You're not right. It's not pedophilia. It's not grooming. It's not abuse. You're wrong. If you think that you're right, you can come talk to me on the stream, show up, and say, hey, Papa God, I think you're a fucking piece of shit. And I'll say, come on Discord. Let's talk about it. I'll explain to you how you're wrong. No problem with that, brother. No problem with that. But like, dude, fuck. I just hate it. You're an adult. You're supposed to be a fucking moral guidance. You're a grown fucking man. Oh, it just pisses me off so much, bro. Just fucking pisses me off, dude. And this Connor Eats Pants guy, you know what's so funny here about this Connor Eats Pants? I remember watching this video. I remember watching this fucking video from this guy about CallMeCarson. Let's see if I can find it. Let me see. And it was just so, it was so dumb. It was such a dumb video. Maybe he pulled it down. Bro, it was insane. He was like, the real reason why, it was a minute long. And he's like, the real reason why we broke up was, it was because he was mean to me or something. Like, people didn't like him because he was a shitty friend. And that's why everything was happening. And I'm like, okay, he's a shitty friend. So it justifies perpetuating the idea that he's some kind of fucking groomer. It was embarrassing. He must have pulled it down. I don't really remember how long ago it was. But it was like fucking insane. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it.
And DanTDM, to name a few. With so many options, it makes sense why viewers would just pick someone else who doesn't exploit their fans. In addition, Carson's absence from content creation for months on end also hurt him dramatically. Minecrafters in particular tend to upload frequently, so not doing so only made things worse. Remember, on the internet, month-long breaks are like years. Now the question remains, will Carson ever be able to return to full force, aka the way he was before? Many creators seem to think the answer is yes, considering he is a very entertaining and funny person. They believe his fans will eventually forgive him. For example, Ludwig even mentioned he thought his return was inevitable.
But I think Carson's gonna come back. It's an inevitability. I think if he wants to come back, you can just come back.
However, another issue is that Carson lied to his friends and destroyed their trust. And while repairing those relationships may not be possible, Ludwig commented that 3 of Carson's friends left Carson because he was a terrible friend.
That's possible. Nothing to do with like any of the actual allegations.
Like everyone on live stream fail community thinks that all of Carson's friends are fake and abandon him because of pressure from Twitter. When the
yeah, I actually do though believe that that's what it is. Or those friends, I know he's about to air quote it too, were looking for something to deplatform him on because they didn't like him because maybe he was a bad person. So they weaponized like fucking pedophilia and grooming to do it, which makes you a worthless, shitty person. Even if Carson's a shitty friend, you're a fucking scumbag for weaponizing these things.
Friends that abandon him are the 3 people who hate Twitter the most. Connor Eats Pants, who does nothing but talk shit on Minecrafters and hates being associated with them. Schlatt, who's also hated by all of Twitter. And Josh, who does nothing but talk about the dangers of parasocial relationships with social media. The people who could not care less about the thoughts of people on Twitter. And the only reason that they left Carson was because he was just a terrible friend. He just lied to him.
Okay.
But I feel like that gets lost, and then there's weird misinformation.
Yeah, it gets lost because it's not really relevant in any capacity to the fact that with the interaction. So what's happening is we're exacerbating, we're exaggerating the situation, because they're upset. They don't like Carson, so it's okay for them to perpetuate misinformation about him. It's crazy, bro.
Constantly. It's weird.
Ultimately, King inappropriately used power dynamics to sext underage girls.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Ultimately, I'm going to give you a moral prescription that I have no education on. Every fucking video with like the ending where it's like, I'm going to give you some advice. Ultimately, you're wrong. You're just incorrect. Ultimately, he used his power dynamic. Ultimately, he brain raped children. Shut the fuck up.
Ultimately, King inappropriately used power dynamics to sext underage girls and then lied to his friends about changing his behavior.
Explain power dynamics to me, Ajay. I really would genuinely love to have the conversation. I want you to explain power dynamics, and then I want you to specifically explain how he abused this power dynamic. I'll talk to you live. I don't give a fuck. I'll talk to you on the phone. I don't give a shit. Explain it to me. Stop making moral prescriptions without explaining the moral prescription. That's the biggest fucking problem I have. Every single one of these people who weigh in on this, they don't talk about the specifics because they don't have to, because they're on the right side of Twitter. They can just say something even if it's wrong and not have to explain it. Meanwhile, I can explain everything down to a T, and like people be like, "No, you're still wrong," because you just don't want to think, because you're emotionally interacting rather than logically interacting. That's it, bro. That's it. But everybody can just make these safe fucking moral prescriptions on things, and it's just like, I don't really care because I want to keep making content. I don't want to have a negative perception. Because even though people are watching this going like, yeah, this is a wrong perception of this, I know that you're wrong. If they're not, those people aren't going to not watch you for that. But like, you could be fucking like terribly canceled because you fucking stand your ground on like the truth. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
I think King definitely needs therapy and would be best served avoiding relationships.
For what? What does he need therapy? He definitely needs therapy, apparently, because he has a mental health issue. But why do you think he needs therapy? Because he talked to a 17-year-old at 19? That's insane. What do you think therapy is for? Have you ever been to a therapist before? I'm just genuinely fucking curious. He needs therapy? For what? I hate that too. I fucking hate that too. I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm going to get help," or "This person needs therapy." For what? What is it? What is the reason somebody needs to go to therapy? Give me your take on it. Explain to me why. Ultimately, I think that you need to take a knife and just stab yourself in the testicles with it. Well, can you explain why? Like, I just want to know why do anything. Why should you do things? I just do this do a thing. Hey, just go pick up rocks and throw them at houses. Why? I don't fucking know. Just it's something you should just do that. You should just throw rocks at houses. Well, what's the reasoning for that? I don't fucking know. Wait, what's this? You should drink gasoline. Why? What? Why would you ask me that question? What do you mean why? Just go drink gasoline. Like, what the fuck is this world that we're living in? It's insane to me, bro. I'm fucking flabbergasted.
Fans of any age. He has returned. King definitely needs therapy and would be best served avoiding relationships with fans of any age.
Then who the fuck is he supposed to date? Who does he date then? Explain to me, who is Carson allowed to date? Does he have to be, who is he allowed to date? Who the fuck can he date? Grimes? She's single now. Would that be appropriate? You gotta date Grimes? Who the fuck is he allowed to date? I'm so confused. You just gotta date people that aren't your fans. You got 2 million followers? Yeah, you can't date any fan. Nobody that's, even though, logically speaking, the people that are fans of him and his content are probably people that are more like him. That's usually how it works, and they tend to gravitate towards that sphere. So, like, all the women that would find him attractive generally are going to be a fan in some capacity. Okay, you don't want to know what? I'm a fan of, like, fucking Lucy Lawless. Do you think that she would be fucking raping me if I had sex with her or I slept with her? Like, what are you talking about? This is just a new online fucking moral prescription. If your favorite actor, if Johnny Depp started dating a fan that was like fucking whatever, you'd be like, oh my God, so good for Johnny Depp. But when it comes to a fucking 20-year-old Minecraft player, all of a sudden there's magical fucking rules that exist where he can't date anybody except for some fucking person halfway across the world that doesn't even know his name and can't speak fucking English or something. Like, it's insane, bro. I'm fucking mesmerized by what are you saying? Didn't Ajay go on, like, doesn't he do like weird cringe fucking like dating shows on Discord? Like, by the logic, you're fucking engaging in abuse of power because you're talking to girls that would potentially be your fans. You're a celebrity in some capacity. You can't date anybody unless they are equal status of you, because even if they're not a fan of you, they know who you are, so they got to know you first. There's a parasocial relationship there. You can't interact with them. You specifically can only interact with other celebrities. But then it doesn't even stop there, because what if a big celebrity is a fan of another celebrity? Does that have a power dynamic issue there too? Oh my God, where the fuck does it end? Like, if Orlando Bloom really liked the acting of Liam Neeson, could he fuck him? No, he can't do it. It's a power dynamic. Everywhere there's power dynamics, bro. Everything's a power dynamic. Height is a power dynamic. Money's a power dynamic. Your gender is a power dynamic. As a man, I am physically stronger than my wife. Does that mean I'm abusing her every fucking day? Do you understand what power dynamics are, how nuanced they are, and how they invade every part of our life in every capacity? Everything is a power dynamic. There are so many different power dynamics that influence everything that we do and make. And you know what? A lot of people are attracted to power in some capacity. Okay? It's insane. And like you're watering it down as if the only power dynamic that exists is some kind of fucking fame. It's insane, bro. It's insane. Attractiveness is a power dynamic. I'm not kidding. More attractive people, that's a power dynamic. It's called the halo effect. It is like an objective fact that people that are more attractive get away with things more than people who are not attractive. It's a literal thing. It exists. Does that mean that an ugly person can't marry an attractive person? You're literally perpetuating like an actual like fucking regressive classist ideology. Like rich people can't date poor people. You have to stay in your own lane. There's power dynamics between white and black people too. If you want to get real fucking woke, does that mean that white people shouldn't date black people? Sounds kind of fucking racist to me because there's a power dynamic there. You see how there's so many power dynamics everywhere, bro. And this blanket prescription that power dynamic equals bad is one of the most mentally fucking inept perspectives that I've ever seen anybody have. You don't have to have like a fucking advanced degree to understand power dynamics in any depth of level. You should be able to sit back and say, power dynamic, what does that mean? Oh, that means my mom must be abusing me because she's my mother. It's insane, bro. It's a fucking buzzword. It pisses me off so much. This riles me up because, like, this situation... Do you want to know why this riles me up? This situation riles me up so much. Because this isn't, like, a nuanced conversation about something that can be interpreted in, like, 2 different ways, and, like, we need to have an in-depth conversation about it to make sure that we get it into, like... That's not what this is. This is a very simple perspective that people are still fucking up on. It's insanity, bro. It's fucking insanity, bro. It's insane. It's insane. And every single time you counter an argument, they pivot. Oh, well, one was an adult, one was a minor. Well, it was 19 and 17. Oh, well, she was still in high school. Okay, guess what? Let me ask you this question. Do you think that it's abuse if a 17-year-old drops out of high school and dates another 17-year-old still in high school? You'd probably say no. So the fundamental idea that, yeah, someone's in high school and somebody's not, it's not actually an issue. It's just that you need to continuously move the goalpost to make yourself right because you decided Carson was guilty originally, and now you feel like a fucking idiot. So now you just continuously move the goalpost. And that's it. It's just full of a bunch of people online. People who still think Carson did a bad thing are just a bunch of fucking egotistical children online who can't be wrong about anything. And that's why you're dumb, because you won't admit you're wrong. That's how you never learn. That's what it really boils down to.
He has returned to streaming, but his viewership is only a fraction of what it was before.
Oh no.
Only time will tell if Carson can make a comeback or if he damaged his career beyond repair.
He didn't damage his career, you fucking people did.
Personally, I think he won't be able to return to his full potential unless his audience sees he made big changes.
Wow, great.
And being silent and not...
What change should he make today? Going to therapy for unexplained reason?
Explaining exactly what he did or plans to do is not going to accomplish that.
Oh my God.
That's just my opinion though, and I could be wrong.
No, you
what do
definitely
you
are
think?
wrong. Oh, 100% wrong.
Thanks so much for watching the video.
I mean, he probably won't gain his shit back because people like you are just perpetuating the idea that he did something wrong. But like, yeah, you're totally wrong in this scenario.
If you enjoyed it, please consider giving me a like and subscribing to my channel.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Oh, and feel free to follow me on Instagram to see my hair more often at InternetAjay.
I wouldn't show that picture to people. I tried to find the Connor Eats Pants thing, couldn't find it. I did find streamers react to him coming back, though.
Eli did nothing wrong. Listen, my real opinion on the Carson stuff is like, yeah, I don't think he did anything wrong either. I think it's not a big
Asmongold's a fucking legend.
Deal. People are blowing it out of proportion.
Yep.
I don't think it matters that much. Like, listen, if every single person that I knew that dated a 17-year-old whenever they were 19 went to jail, I wouldn't have any friends. Let's be fucking honest. So that's the way I look at it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't give a shit. Same, yeah, people that think like that and think this is some kind of terrible fucking thing probably have never been outside of their house. It's completely...
It's true. And if Asmongold is telling you that you don't touch grass, that's saying something, because he doesn't shower.
Fucking normal. 17's legal in Texas? Yeah, exactly. 16's legal in a lot of places in the world. And or a lot of places in the U.S., excuse me.
Unfortunately, fucking 14 is legal in some places in the world. It's insane. But again, 2-year age gap.
So if people want me to think that like this is some kind of terrible, horrible fucking thing for this person to do something that's acceptable in not only most places in the U.S. but especially most places in the world, no, it's ridiculous.
Not only does it create a power dynamic, but also you can like choose or whatever. Okay, I'm sure he was getting probably hundreds of DMs from hundreds or dozens of people, dozens.
Maybe.
Yet this is a choice that was made. This is not a coincidence. This is the choice that was
but
made.
This is the problem. When you say this is the choice that was made, what you're saying is that the choice was bad. It wasn't bad. So it doesn't matter that this is the choice that he's made. He saw some girls that looked cute and he talked to them. We also don't know how many girls he talked to that were of age because it was never brought up. It was only those two specifically. We don't really know. But 1917. So when you say this is the choice he made, you're saying that's a bad choice. It's not a wrong choice. Just don't date anymore, guys. Just fucking jerk off the rest of your life. Do VR porn or something. Get a flashlight.
Multiple choices and validations, and through all the other options that was chosen. So it's like, I don't want people go out of the way to downplay it. I don't make too big of a deal about it because it's kind of like, okay, yeah, it's illegal there, yeah, but I mean, but why though? But why?
This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what he's saying is that it was a bad choice, and like Carson targeted this person. What's most likely true is that Carson saw somebody attractive, and then they happened to be 17 when they were 19. Come on, bro. This is embarrassing.
It's literally 2 years.
Yes.
How do you not understand it?
Carson on Miss Stream.
Is this the bathroom? Where's the bathroom?
The bathroom's
video so we don't hear the AC too loud. AC too loud,
Wait,
fix AC too loud, 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 fix. Damn son.
Look at her go!
Oh my god. So I guess Miskip is hanging out with CallMeCarson. Maya invited him. They were friends long before. I don't know what the exact details are of Carson. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what it is. But in situations like this, when your closest friends or your closest colleagues immediately fucking are the first people to be like, yeah, that was fucking wrong and fucked up, they often know more than someone like myself does on the outside, on the edges.
Bro, this is just such a pussy perspective. Yeah, I don't know any of the facts, but the friends are saying it's bad, so that must be bad. This is just a safe play. Bro, this is insane. This is fucking crazy. This is fucking insane. You want to know what's really interesting? I'm going to get a little intense here. We were talking about the Billie Eilish thing before, and they were talking about how when you look at pornography online, and you look at, like, there was a study that was done, and when people watch, like, R-rated movies that have, like, very aggressive sexual scenes in them, it actually reduces the impact of reduces the perspective of, like, sexual assault and rape on actual victims and actual survivors of sexual assault. Right? And the reason that this is relevant here is because if somebody was sexually assaulted and your friends downplay it, it doesn't make them right. And I know Carson wasn't sexually assaulted, but fundamentally, your friends being dumb doesn't make them right about something. If you let's just take it away from that. If you're friends with a bunch of fucking racists and you start dating a black person or a person of color and they're like, that's really bad. Do you think that is actually bad? Probably not. You think that those friends are fucking dumb. But by this fundamental logic that, well, if the friends think something is bad, then it's probably bad, is just uninformed. They're wrong. They're wrong. And like the fact that he's not looking into it, or he probably knows about it, and he's playing the safe play, it's just another like embarrassing perspective from Hassan. And I would expect exponentially more from somebody like Hassan than fucking XQC or Asmongold, because Hassan is a fucking commentator, a commentary-tator, is somebody who does commentary, who's supposed to be talking about these things in a nuanced way. But like, of course, once again, just a dishonest fucking no IQ perspective, bro.
Looking in, and they certainly know a lot more than motherfuckers in the chat. Okay, I know you guys. It doesn't matter how parasocial you are. It doesn't matter how much you feel you know. Okay, I don't.
What do you mean? Everything was displayed for us to know. It doesn't matter how much you. What? Like, how does this work? Like, how do we do police work? Well, you know, the friend said he didn't do it, and what the fuck do I know? I just have all the evidence that he did it. But like, the friend knows something I don't know. Like, what the fuck kind of fucking perspective is this?
I don't care about the 2-year difference between a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old. I've already mentioned that multiple times. If it's just that, if that's the extent of the crime, then that's not a fucking crime at all.
Yes, that's the extent of the crime, Hassan. Thank you. You could have just led with that and not said the rest of the dumb shit that you said. But you're trying to like play it safe because you have a lot of like young people that are fucking Twitter warriors that will say like, Hassan, oh, he's normalizing grooming.
It's not even remotely criminal. You're a psychopath if you consider that to be like abhorrent, like a 17 versus 19-year-old. That's insane. Okay, like that is just insane. But that's not what the whole purpose is, or that's not the whole reason.
Is pretty much the whole thing. Yeah, Hassan, it literally is the whole thing. He sexted a 17-year-old. That's it.
No, don't say it's technically illegal. Oh, you're saying it's technically illegal. Okay. Because it's not even technically illegal. It is literally legal. Only part that makes it kind of creepy and kind of wrong. Why are you trying to paint the best case scenario when you don't know what really happened? I'm not. which is why I specified.
Well, you are. You literally led with the worst case scenario, and even though you said you were unintelligent on it, and then you said you're like, the friends know more than me. It's like, dude, come on. And all the information's out there. Just don't talk about it if you're not going to educate yourself on it.
The only reason why I don't talk about this as much, or haven't talked about this as much, is because his friends are the ones who knows a lot more that immediately fucking shut this shit down. So that is significantly different. Okay, that's a lot more different than just like
there's plenty of information.
Someone being like, I was 17 and Carson was 19. Having news from a 17-year-old is not legal, Pepega. Okay, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, Carson was on Mrs. Stream, whatever. I don't want to talk about it too much. It's not a big deal. Regardless, there was some miscommunication between friends there in regards to stuff. But we, I wanted to clear up one thing. Like people were like, "Oh, Schlatt said it was okay for him to like go on stream and like come back and stuff." No, that was not what Schlatt or I said. The conversation was very much, were they allowed to visit and stuff, and we were not aware that they would be on stream and stuff, and that wasn't what the that wasn't what was like thumped.
It's not okay for him to be on someone's stream. This is so toxic. These people are childish because that's what they're saying. That's what he's saying right here. He's like, it's not okay. We didn't say it was okay for them to stream together. Fuck Carson. We hate Carson for some other reason outside of this. I guarantee you that we don't know about.
Thumbs up. There's just miscommunication. But then on top of that, I don't like people attacking Ms. or Maya either, because again, a lot of the stuff in regards to stuff, as you saw with Asmon's take and stuff, who I don't blame. I don't think Asmon's a bad guy, but some people just don't know the full situation, right?
Then explain it. Then explain it, because we know. Explain it. I hate. It's such a fucking pussy move to have all the information that we have out here for us to make the logical and reasonable conclusion that Carson didn't do anything wrong. And then for you to say, well, you just don't know. Then fucking tell me, you coward bitch. Honestly, just fucking tell me. What am I missing? Did Carson send a fucking bomb to her house and say, if you don't fuck me, I'm going to blow you up? Because then that is an abuse of a power dynamic. That would be crazy. Show me what I don't know. You're a fucking kid, bro. You're a dumb fuck kid. And I hate this because you're canceling somebody who's not a fucking pedophile and not a groomer for being a pedophile and a groomer. You're hurting the conversation and you're belittling and watering down like actual abuse of power dynamics and actual abuse of like grooming and situations like that. That's why I'm so irritated by this situation, because you don't like a person. That's what it boils down to. I don't like a person, so they are the worst person. I hate that fucking pathetic shit. Some loser shit.
I would appreciate people not attacking Miz and stuff.
Yeah, well, shut the fuck up. Great video, Ajay. Bullshit. Insane bullshit, bro. It's fucking insane to me.